Hey guys, James here with UFSU University coming back at you with another 7th Cross deck profile. Today we're going to be doing Taisei. Taisei is a sweet 8-hander with 2 life that when he loses that 2 life switches into Taisei 2 dot who is a 5-hand size for 8 life. But he can continuously remove Taisei 1 dots from his staging area to become Taisei 2 dot again, even if Taisei 2 dot is already a starting character. So as long as he has Taisei 1 dots, he can always become Taisei 2 dot again. So we'll get into the deck. This is my Death Weapons build I was testing for a little bit. I really enjoyed this deck. It's just not... It's hit or miss sometimes. So maybe you guys can do something else with it that I'm just coming up short on. We're playing 4 Keenran Soul. -1 speed. If you block, no damage. You have 2 life. You don't want to die. Demon Hide. Torn Loose is a deck that a lot of people are playing right now as well. This makes it to where their attacks lose gauge, which doesn't matter much to you, but also can't gain the throw from that attack. It just prevents that, so you don't have to worry about it. It also stops things like Jackie, Akuma, Coffee Samba. It just stops those. You don't have to worry about it. Nightmare Tears blocks your low. It's a low it's like a easy free low block. It's the Flame Aura for these 3 symbols for lows. Like it's just that's what it does. The other ability is flip. Your opponent commits one of their foundations and freezes it. You won't use that often unless you like open this and need to build. It's just basically a good 3 low block that just drops their speed to 0 on block. Because it's a weapon deck, we're playing 2 Manji Ninjutsu. It's a 2/5 weapon as a keyword. First form, 7+. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. If your character is Yoshimitsu, you can gain 4 instead. You're not Yoshimitsu, but you do get to build momentum for free if you have this out. And pass the 7, which is pretty nice. And then form once per turn, discard momentum, add 1 weapon card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So you get the stack for when you draw cards with like 1,000 Duels, Sins of Adventure for a combo I'll tell you about later, stuff like that. We're also playing 4 the original Mecha Ninja, the OG Mechanical Ninja. It's a breaker 1 weapon, 3 low block. R card pool, after you block with this card, your next check to play a weapon card gets +2, so you can ease your building turns or do cool combo plays with like Face Splitter. Its other abilities are E, your check of 4, your mid attack is +1 damage, or E, check of 4, your high attack is +1 speed. We're playing mainly lows and highs with like Hyper Bomb as the mid, but Hyper Bomb is like a staple in 2 of his symbols. You just don't get to not play it. We're playing 1 Warrior of Lost Clan. If you have 3 weapons in your card pool, you get to destroy one of your opponent's foundations. And then E, commit, switch the speed and damage values of this attack. It's like you buff something with like Mecha Ninja and make like, what is it? Mecha Ninja's damage for mids. It's like you make this Ghost Thief 6/7 and then you just swap them. It's pretty neat. You can do cool things. It's mainly in there as a 6 check that also has weapon on it that gets us to destroy problem cards in our opponent's staging area. Because we play characters, we're playing 1 Fusion of Souls. It's a first form, check of 6, add a character from our discard pile to our hands, and then Deadlock E, commit your opponent's character. That's it. It's E flip, commit your opponent's character. Pretty nuts. But it's only in there as a 1-of because sometimes you just don't use it. It's a 1/5 at the 3 high blocks that cover zones. 2 Domain Submission to turn off other gauge decks. It's nice and simple. It turns off things like Stun and Powerful as well. 4 Over the Top for easy building. Also covers our zones with the highs. 4 Sense of Adventure. The ability on this card, as well as it being a good spam and a low block, is E commit, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. So you get to mill a little bit. And then you may add 1 card, discard this way to our card pool. So you can do things like Hunt for Spires, add that in, play another attack, drop it. But you can also add in things like one of these weapon foundations, one of these weapon attacks, and then just Face Splitter, get more damage and speed off of it. We're playing 4 Hunt for Spires, as you saw. Just flip problem cards. 1,000 Duels, everything's a weapon. Everything's a weapon. So you get to pick up anything you flip. even the foundations if you flip the correct ones. And then 2, securing his destiny to turn off certain abilities on attacks, like grant stun with Coffee Sama. Coffee Sama is going to be named a lot. It's a very strong card that does way too much. And then we'll get into the actions. We're playing 4 Prepare to Fight. It's a full block on every zone besides throws on mids, but like that's whatever. You just have to block differently for that. But like if you partially block, it deals no damage. If you full block as a mid, deals no damage. Breaker 1, discard multiples. You can even swamp card pools with its other ability. It's just an overall very good card for Taisei in general. 1 CAF CL. You'll hear me talk about this card a lot in a lot of videos. I think this card is nuts. I think this card is a very, very good underrated card right now. It's an E-commit, seal one of your opponent's foundations. Really, really good. So we're going to the attacks. We're playing 3 Ashen Claws. Most of the time you don't get the deadlock, so you don't have to worry about it, but it is a gauge attack with weapon, so it works with Taisei's ability as well as just being a weapon attack you can use. We're playing 2 Chaos Scissors. This is one of his better attacks. One of the other reasons I don't like this deck is you don't rely on the gauge part, and like these 3 attacks are just so good in my opinion. But 2 Chaos Scissors, you have to show a low just to block this attack, and it's a high. It's like you have to show a low block to block this high attack. It's just nuts. Gets in free damage, gauges. Dust for Dust. If you have 2 characters that ignore progressive difficulty, which is really nice because Steel Res also ignores progressive difficulty. But you get to search your deck for 1 gauge attack and add to your hand, but your opponent may commit a foundation to cancel the effect. So to make sure our opponent can't, we send out cool attacks that they have to block, and we stun them out with things like Hyper Bomb. Hyper Bomb is a stun 2 with weapon, 3 low for 5, has a 2 high block. If it's not blocked, you'll draw a card, so your opponent's going to want to block it, as well as it stuns 2. And then its other ability is E-commit 1 foundation. If your opponent has more vitality than you, destroy 1 foundation that was committed due to its stun ability. So you stun them out and then blow up a foundation, because you have 2 life at this most of the time. Most of the time you have 2 life, and your opponent doesn't have more than that, doesn't have less than that. So you just get to free destroy something that you stunned, which is just really nice on like turn 1. I mean on turn 2. You build 4, they build 3 to hold for whatever, they failed their 4th one, whatever. You play Hyper Bomb, stun 2, blow 1 up. Now they have 2 foundations going into their turn 2. It's like it's like they checked a 1 or something on their 3rd card. It just slows them down. Everything's a weapon, so we're playing Face Splitter. Its combo E is combo with a weapon. It gets +1/+1 speed and damage for each weapon card in your card pool, which is why Sense of Adventure comes in so handy. We stuff our card pool with weapons after playing the Face Splitter. It's like we have 3 of these, then we commit and add 3 weapons after playing the Face Splitter. And this is like our 3rd attack. So Face Splitter is supposed to get 3/3. Now it's getting 6/6. Now it's a 9 for 10. It's just really, really good. Playing 1 Ghost Thief. I actually made cuts to where this attack lineup wasn't like 26 attacks. So Ghost Thief went down to 1, which is the reason like this is at 3 and this is at 2. It's just like I had to make room. And like Hyper Bomb, Steel Res had to stay. This is a hard combo piece, and this is a nuts card in him. It's like Ghost Thief just went down to 1. It's just really good in general, but like I had to make cuts somewhere. Then 4 Hyper Bomb, like we were discussing, and 4 Steel Res. It basically says it gets -1 difficulty for every weapon card before it in the card pool. So like, as long as everything in your card pool is a weapon, this card's basically playing on a 5. Pretty nice and simple. It's a 4 high for 5, 2 high block. If it's blocked by a non-attack card, your opponent loses 2 vitality, which is also very nuts. The only problem I found with the deck is you either drew the nuts and killed them on turn 2, or turn 3, whatever one. If you just drew well, or you just didn't draw anything and just lost. Like there's just sometimes where you just couldn't do anything. So guys, that was the deck profile. Aggro hit or miss Taisei. If you guys have an idea for a deck profile you want to see, like some old character like Bishamon or like what's another character, BB Hood. If you guys want to see deck profiles on them, I'll totally sell out and do those. If you want to see a newer character, I'll do that as well. If you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be great. I love reading your comments. I love seeing likes. I love seeing shares. I love seeing all of that stuff that you guys do with it. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/UFS University. Subscribe to some of those tier levels. Some of this content comes out early. Some of it doesn't. Some of you guys are just as lucky as everybody else. Some of you get to see stuff early. Who knows? Make sure to look out for other deck profiles coming through 7th Cross. Come hang out with us on Sundays for our Sunday Fun Day streams. And as always, guys, stay learned.